Welcome back to Going for Gold with Gia. Today we're joined by one of our foil fencers and the 2025 NCAA Men's Individual Foil Champion, Chase Emmer. Chase, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And Chase just won the NAC, the NAC.
Oh, yeah.
Like last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend.
So it just flesh you off.
Right.
Normally we do icebreakers, but since you're our first current fencer on the podcast, we thought we'd do some fencer favorites, so like a speed round. Favorite fencing memory so far?
Probably would have to be NCAAs, just like with my whole team there. Put in 2 really good days of fencing together, and then seeing the girls do really well. So probably that whole weekend was just really exciting.
Your second NCAA.
Yes,
first one
wasn't bad either.
20 bouts.
Yeah, first one wasn't bad either, actually. Statistically, for the team, it was better, but memory-wise, I enjoyed standing on top of the podium. So I'd probably say the second one, yeah.
So you're 2 from 2.
Yes.
And 1 from 2 as an individual.
Exactly.
So, wow.
All right, your favorite piece of Notre Dame fencing gear?
Probably for the South Bend winners, my parka, probably.
Your parka.
I'd say that one gets dusted off pretty early. This year wasn't that bad so far, but I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of use out of it later.
Well, when we had the 9 inches of snow.
Right. I missed that, so I was coming back from Spain
right.
maybe. So I just got the back end.
Lucky.
Right. Yeah. Very lucky. Very lucky.
And where was that World Cup?
In Spain. So I was in like 85 degrees, like Mallorca.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Island is beautiful. Yeah.
Favorite city you've competed in?
Anywhere in Korea is an awesome place. I think we were in Busan one of the years and then Incheon the other one. We had a training camp in Seoul beforehand.
Okay.
And just the people there, the Korean team, they just kind of opened the gym for us and we were able to train with them. And I still talk to some of them, even though they don't really speak too good of English. Like our mannerisms, like we're very close in that sense. So I would say probably Korea because the food is amazing. Korean barbecue is just amazing out there.
This is going to be a little controversial,
Sure.
but favorite teammate to room with?
I'd probably say Z. I'd probably say just because I think I've roomed with maybe a handful of fencers, but I've roomed most with Z, and he doesn't snore, doesn't do anything like crazy. So we get our sleep, and I mean that's why his name is ZZ. You know, he's a really good roommate. No, so I would probably say Z for sure. He's just a good guy for sure. Yeah.
So snoring.
His snoring.
Yes,
is a big
snoring
one.
for sure. Because if you
disrupt you. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's the night before competition is very important.
So you would never want to room with either Rolando or me.
I'd prefer not to. I prefer not to. Yeah.
Tell us about the journey here at Notre Dame. What do you do differently, and what was most challenging?
My last 2 years of high school in COVID, so it's like virtual, and it made traveling super easy for fencing because I could attend classes in the airport, and then when I landed, I could attend classes depending on like the time zone and stuff. So it was definitely a difficult first semester, just getting used to traveling and then missing classes. And obviously college, the classes go way quicker, right? So if you miss one day in college, it's maybe like 2 or 3 days in high school. So just kind of being more on top of my academics and stuff like that. And then also when you're handling more things in class and in school, then it makes fencing more difficult because you have more on your mind. You're just always constantly juggling. So it's been fun to kind of to just learn how I can improve myself little by little and kind of like just make my habits like better than they were in high school. So I think that journey has been exciting, and I have a ways to go for sure. But I'm enjoying it right now for sure. Yeah.
Tell me about your devotion to fishing. I ran into you a few times this year while running around the lakes, and you were decked out with the fishing gear. So tell us.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I really enjoy. I always tell my mom that I'm practicing my flicks when I'm fishing. Obviously, that's not very true, but I just like kind of being out there by myself, and life slows down a little bit, and it's always just a bonus when you can catch the fish. But it's kind of, for me, it's just the experience of being out there, and kind of helps me reset when obviously school is very busy, fencing is very busy, and just life in general. So it's a cool reset for me.
How often do you go?
I mean, whenever I'm home, so during Thanksgiving break, you'll definitely see me by the pond for sure.
Here on campus?
Here, I'll go maybe 3 times a semester, but when it gets warm, when it's warmer, it's a lot easier. When it's cold, they kind of hunker down and make it tougher for you, and also you're just standing out there like a a popsicle. So it's not as fun. The one lake, I think it's St. Mary's, has the power plant on it, so it doesn't freeze over all the time. So you can kind of get some pretty pictures and stuff like that with the mist coming off the water.
What kind of fish do you normally?
Yeah, so there's like largemouth in that body of water, bluegill, perch, without just going into like the species of fish, but that's like the more common sports species.
Chase was recruited during COVID. Everything was Zoom, and we could not have a campus visit. And yet, he came, and we never met. But apparently, he stayed with your dad and mom here for a while, and he actually explored the area. You fished.
Yeah,
I learned that way after he came and joined us.
Right.
Tell us about that story.
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously very interested in the school, and during COVID, it was like kind of that like dark period where you couldn't talk to coaches, and there weren't like recruiting visits, or there weren't rules on that quite yet. So we didn't want to do anything to mess with my eligibility. But I was like, I'll just come on campus and kind of see what it was like. And obviously, if it's in December, there's probably going to be snow on the ground. It's probably going to get cold. So, but it was beautiful. Like it just snowed, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to grab my rod. I was so super happy with that lake being not frozen. And then there's a couple of like fun photos. I'll find you guys later of me just having a fish in front of the dome, which was pretty cool because the trees don't have leaves on them, so it's a straight shot to the dome. So yeah, it was a cool experience. And then at that point, I was like, wow, this place is pretty cool. And I kind of did some research about the other schools. And I was like, I don't think they have a pond on campus. So I'm like, this is my place.
So we're saved by pond.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes,
exactly.
saved by pond.
Well, you should have sent us that picture that we didn't have to worry about,
right?
Whether you come in here or not, till the very last moment, and it was like, gripping.
Right.
Okay, that's great story.
Yeah,
but he's a fisherman. So.
Yeah.
And how did you get into fencing?
The story I always tell is I was like in the backyard playing with sticks and stuff like that, and my parents were like, "Oh, I think this guy should do some type of sword fighting." And I enjoyed Star Wars. And then my cousin Xander and I, we were just like, we'd go up and either my mom would take us to practice or her mom would take us. So we kind of just stumbled upon like fencing. I knew I wanted to do fencing, and her mom was like, okay, go with Chase. Let's see how it goes. And then ever since then, it's just been really competitive between her and I.
And Xander, an amazing young lady who goes to Columbia,
right.
Who's also the superstar fencer.
Right. So she got third at my second NCAAs last year. So she did very well as well. So it's always like a little competition between us. Obviously, I gave her some jokes about me winning and her getting third, but it's all with love. It's all with love.
They're coming back strong.
No, for sure. I agree. But I mean, that's what makes it stronger. For sure.
You started first and Xander followed you?
So we both went, and then I really enjoyed it. And Xander was kind of on the fence. And then I was like, just give it like a few more weeks. And then eventually she says, okay, this is pretty cool. I always joke with her. My love for fencing kept her in it. And then now she's like, on the day she does better than me, like I can always bring that out.
She's also individual world champion.
Right.
Incredible
results.
Incredible, yeah. But Xander always cheers for you.
Right. I mean, she's amazing. If there's anyone I think other than the coaches and stuff, like she's definitely like my go-to person to talk about anything with.
So talking about kind of the community in fencing, what would you say about it? Would you say, I mean, because you've got people international from all over the world.
The FA team, they're all Hungarian over there. And then the Sabres, like I was thinking for the 6 people that fence at NCAAs, 5 of them are international fencers. And I was the only homegrown U.S. fencer. So it's kind of crazy to think about. But like, I mean, I would go to battle for all these guys that I fence with. And for some of them, like Ahmed, I met him last year, and he's like one of my best friends. Or Radu, because I wasn't on the team with him and stuff like that. So it's like these guys they're just like all really cool people. They come from a different kind of culture. And then we kind of like make our own culture here at Notre Dame. And obviously it's a very good culture and a winning culture. So I couldn't be more proud of the team. And then also on the women's side, they're just amazing and just as diverse. So it's a really cool team that you put together.
You took the gap year between the freshman and the sophomore year. So how much did it help you to grow as a person, and what brought it to you?
Trying to make an Olympic team. Obviously, I didn't quite reach that, but I grew in many other ways. It was nice because I kind of got a break from school and college fencing in general, so I could really just focus on my actual fencing. And then it also made me like realize how incredible college fencing is and like the team aspect of it. And I think a lot of times I always hear like seniors being like, wow, these 4 years went by so quickly. And it was nice that I got 1 year of it. I got a taste and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then I kind of got like a little break to tell me like, oh, just be really grateful of what you have and kind of enjoy. And then when you go back, use the most time that you can. That is probably the biggest lesson that I learned from the gap year, because there was not many other people doing a gap year. So not that I was lonely, but I was kind of by myself. And I saw the team and I was like, wow, like I didn't realize how much you missed it. And it's always like you want what you don't have currently. So that was a big aspect for me.
And we're so grateful that you have another year
Yes.
beside
Yes.
with
Yes.
that. Yes. Ooh, it would have been tough to let you go.
Thanks.
To be so selfish side of us. Right after NCAA's, the title, the winning bout, you were asked a few questions, and it was all about the team and all about your teammates and in the culture and the environment, and again speaks so highly of you as a incredible teammate.
Thanks.
And a leader of this team.
Thanks.
I know you didn't quite make the Olympics, but you were an alternate
Yeah,
or a
training partner,
partner
yeah.
for the U.S. team.
Right.
What was that experience?
Yeah, it was incredible. The venue, the Grand Palais, was like insane. You had the French fans who didn't know a lick of fencing, and they saw a light and they started chanting, or they saw other person light, they started booing, and they didn't know right away. So it was after every touch, it was something. So it was really incredible. So yeah, we fenced them in the. I say we because I feel like I was the team, right? So they fenced them in the fence off for third place, and they were really rowdy, and I mean obviously it didn't go quite the way that the U.S. team wanted to, but it was just a neat experience because there really isn't any other venue in the world even where the fencing tournament is that kind of intense. So that was really eye-opening for me, and we'll see how LA goes and stuff like that, and hopefully I'm on the team there, and hopefully the environment is just as insane. A bunch of people on the Notre Dame team coming in because Lola and Siobhan were also training partners. So that was cool. I got to meet them before they came to school.
Prior to come to Notre Dame, I have a picture of you at the Pan Am Games with Garrick and Nick warming up together.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 out of 4 of that team were the Notre Dame product.
Right.
Yeah, we had a lot of Notre Dame team members.
There.
It's really cool.
Well, we wish you luck for
Thank you.
LA.
Thanks.
I know I'll be watching. I'm sure Gia will be watching as well.
If he makes it, I'll be cheering for him on the spot.
Talking a little bit more about the team, what's something we talked about the community, but is there some other aspect of the team that fans wouldn't see from the outside?
We're just like so diverse. I keep coming back to the community. I don't want to like sound like that's my one answer to everything, but it's hard coming from someone who's part of the team because I see everything and it feels normal to me, and I don't really know how we're perceived outside of the team. I mean, everyone's just really nice to each other and really supportive. Even last year when Kaylin won a World Cup or Esther won a World Cup, like we're watching their bouts and like we're celebrating and seeing how we can kind of get together around someone who's probably across the world, right? And we're just watching them on live stream and we feel like we're there cheering for them. So I mean, and especially coming from such an individual sport, being able to celebrate other people's accomplishments, I think is a very good character trait. And I think that's something that a lot of people on the team are able to show.
And our mantra, one team, one heart, truly resonates with the culture we have.
Well, we can't end this episode without talking about the national championship, which we're hosting this year. So we've already talked a lot about how exciting it's been the past 2 times you've been there. Bringing nationals on home turf, what is that going to mean to you and how excited are you?
It'd be incredible to win it again here because I think the last time it was held here, we won it as well, right? So we'd be like defending home titleist and then we'd be defending champions also. So there's certainly a fair amount of pressure to it, but I think Gia always gives a speech before we go out and he talks about how don't try to overly do your job. Everyone kind of has their own job and we're a good enough team together to not need to like a couple people to out fence themselves. If we all fence our normal game, there's no reason that we would need anything more than that. So anytime I feel any type of pressure to do anything, I always go back to that speech. And that I heard that freshman year And it even helps me in like team events when I'm fencing internationally as well, just because you need to trust your teammates. And it's something, like I said, in such an individual sport, it was really tough, but that's what makes college fencing amazing, is that you have teammates yelling behind you and stuff like that. So I look forward to that. And then it would be cool because you always hear you always tell people, oh, I'm like fencing at this tournament. They're, oh, that's cool. And it's like, can I watch? I'm like, we don't really have many tournaments here. We have the Chicos, obviously, and that's a great event. But to have NCAAs here would be amazing. So I'm definitely inviting a lot of my friends.
Friday we did beat this when they run up and down. They have to go to the record. And what could they set the record? And Chase actually set the record for the team.
Wow.
And while he was doing that, women's lacrosse team was walking by, and I couldn't believe so many girls like, hey, let's go, Chase. You had as big of a cheering squad on that one. So
yeah, I mean, I know a few of them for sure, but I mean, I feel like I don't know as many as I heard for sure. But I think that's just Notre Dame in general. If you see someone doing something amazing or like on their way to doing something amazing, you kind of hop on, you try to help people. Even if you don't really know them, just because of the brand you wear across your chest.
They're obviously saying, let's go Chase.
Yeah.
So
maybe they thought that someone was chasing me. I was trying to go that way, but no, it was a cool experience. And then also, I had everyone on my team cheering for me, and even had Mason, who just finished like a couple before, and I don't know how he was talking because I was like way out of breath at that point. And he was cheering me on, kind of just helping me keep pace and stuff like that. So it's again an individual test, but I mean, when people can try to help you, it's truly an amazing thing.
Yes, we're really grateful to have you part of Notre Dame fencing family, and your own family, your mom and your dad are absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And so encouragement, everything and anything we do here, in any aspect of it, they're always in it and always supportive to us.
Actually, I don't think there's been one competition I haven't seen your mom or your dad.
My mom goes to everything.
And
my
football
dad
games, they'll be here in the football games.
Yeah.
With your dad with Notre Dame hat on.
Right,
always,
and his shoes,
always.
whatever he decides to wear that day. Yeah.
But we're so grateful for you being here, and I'm also so happy that this is your junior and not a senior year, Chase.
Right.
So we'll get some more journey together
For sure.
as a Notre Dame.
And that's a wrap for this week's Going for Gold with Gia. Stay tuned for next week, and as always,
Go Irish! Way to go, buddy!
Nice
Way to
job,
go!
Chase. Thank you so
Come
much.
here, you beautiful thing.